If your dog's leash has a traffic handle, that means you are prepared for a lot more situations than just a normal standardized leash. So let's talk about what traffic handles are and how they're beneficial to you. A traffic handle is going to be a handle on your leash that is lower on that leash. So typically on a standard leash, you are going to have a long piece of material and then a loop at the end that you can hold on to or put around your wrist, whatever you're going to do with that. But then closer to your dog, when you get down near the clip, you're going to have a secondary handle that is much closer and allows you to kind of work with your dog in a different way. Traffic handles, in my favorite leashes, are always padded. I always get padded handles because it can be really rough on your skin if you're just trying to manhandle that leash or just trying to move that around. It slides through and can cause rope burn, all of those things. So padded traffic handles are elite, and I will link my favorite leashes down below. But that traffic handle now gives me more control over my dog. And you can also find traffic handles on harnesses, on different types of things that your dog might be wearing. So typically we see them on leashes. And because it is lower and closer to your dog, you can use this for a lot of different reasons, including in crowded situations, thus the term traffic handle. If there's a lot of traffic, you're going to use that to pull your dog a little bit closer to you and keep them next to your side. But that is not the only way to use those traffic handles. If you're training your dog, you may want to hold the end of the leash in one hand and the traffic handle in your other hand to then be able to communicate with them closer. Think of it this way. If you are moving that leash, the longer the space, the less of a communication you have with them. It's not going to be felt as strongly as if you were closer. If you and I were right here and we were holding a rope and I kind of shook it over here, you'd feel some of those waves, but not a lot of them. If I got real close to you and then I shook it, you would feel more, even though it was the same pressure at both placements. So with that in mind, you can communicate more clearly with your dog. You can also keep them where you need them to be. If you need them to be in a heel next to you, that's a really good way to keep them a little bit closer without having to have that rope slide through your hand. Now, another really great thing about a traffic handle is if your dog is good on a leash and they are walking on a loose leash, you can actually use that traffic handle just to keep the rope from smacking into them while you're walking. My dogs are pretty good about walking by my side, but my leash is long enough that if I just held it at one end, it would kind of sag down in front of me and smack into my legs or my knees, which I don't want, and it would also tap against my dog's side while we were walking. So for me, I just loop the one over my wrist and let it dangle there, and I kind of have the other one in my fingers. I hold on to it. Sometimes I put it over my wrist and then I just kind of let my fingers dangle. But that way it is up, so it's not tripping me and it's not tripping my dog and it's not bumping into anybody, so it's more comfortable for us to be able to walk. Traffic handles are also really great if you need to kind of position your dog in one specific location, or if there's a small amount of space. Let's say you are out for a walk in the park and another person is walking by you, you are really close, you can then get that dog real close to you and off to the side so that they're not engaging with anybody else. Traffic handles are meant to give better communication, better control, and to help make it a little bit easier for you to be walking. There are other, of course, creative ways that you can be using those traffic handles, but generally speaking, it is for safety, it's for communication, and it is for ease of what you are going to be doing. And then depending on your dog's skill level, you can use it in different ways. If you are training, you're going to really lean into the communication side and the placement side of that. If your dog is well trained already, now you can lean into the ease side of things. So it's very functional throughout the course of your dog's life and training. And if you have a padded traffic handle, all the better. Let me tell you, leashes are not created equal, so I will again link my favorites down below. It does not give me rope burn if my dogs happen to pull, or it doesn't hurt my wrists. It's very comfortable for me to use. They're very sturdily made, so they are really, really good no matter what type of dog you're going to be having. I use them on my English Springer Spaniel. I also use it on my Pomeranian, and I make sure I just hold it up so there's no weight on her. These are going to be really good for you going out on walks, if you're going traveling, if you are just going to the vet. These are quality leashes. They come in a bunch of different colors. I will, again, link my favorites down below, but you can find traffic handles from tons of different brands. And you can, again, find them on harnesses. You can find them on other apparel that your dog might be wearing. And this just allows you to more easily maneuver your dog. I will say, I have had harnesses with traffic handles. I've also had life jackets with traffic handles, things like that. And if I ever need to, I can just grab my dog by the traffic handle, lift her up, and move her where I need to. So if I'm in a situation where I just need to get her up and moved, grab it, because it's a harness, it just lifts them up by their whole body, move them over like a briefcase and set them right down. If you are using it on like a life jacket, you can use that to help get them into the boat that you're on, things like that. So traffic handles are really, really good for a lot of different reasons on a lot of different apparatuses that are part of what you're going to be doing with your dogs. So just keep an eye out for them. And if you have a choice to get something with or without a traffic handle, for the most part, you're going to want to opt for that traffic handle just because it's safer, it's better, and it's easier for you and your dog to be able to function. Follow along for more tips and tricks on how you can level up working with your dog to give them the best life possible. We've got a full list on harnesses and leashes. We've got a full list on travel. We've got a full list on dog documentation. There's tons of advice here on the channel. So drop your questions and we'll see you in tomorrow's episode.